Santiago, Chile, the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2025 between Puerto Rico and Colombia. Before we get to the starting lineups, let's look at three officials that will be in charge of calling this game. Garcia, Cheng, and Chiconato from Venezuela, Canada, and Brazil. Some of the best officials here in the Americas at the FIBA Women's FIBA Women's AmeriCup here in 2025. Starting lineup for Puerto Rico: Pagan, San Antonio, Mirantes, Hollingshed, and Jones. And of course, they're led by their head coach, Jerry Batista. Batista is the head coach for the last two Olympic appearances for Puerto Rico. A living legend for Puerto Rico, has been the head coach since 2014 and has his team humming and ready to go. I was at practice yesterday and they weren't messing around. And we're going after each other. Expect them to start quickly. On the other side, Colombia and their starting five: Paz, Rios, Martinez, Munoz, Gonzalez, and a very experienced bench. Some youth on the bench as well, as we'll have some players making their senior national team debut. For Luis Cuenta, the head coach of Colombia, he toes the sideline for this unit. Plenty of experience coaching at the pro level, and just finished winning the Women's Basketball League of Americas at the club competition, and as a head coach of one of the Colombian teams at home.
That's a big deal.
Hopefully brings some of that winning recipe here to Chile.
Yeah, I mean, Colombia has finished fifth in the last three AmeriCups, and they have the same core, and like you said, the same coach that's returning to this edition. So looking to make a splash for sure. Fifth, 3 times in a row. You got to be hungry for the 4, the 3. Obviously, to see the podium would be the goal for this Colombian team.
Inside of a minute to tip off, countdown to tip-off rather, presented by Tissot. Take a look at Puerto Rico, a team that has had some success here at the AmeriCup. Of course, they hosted the AmeriCup back in 2019. Failed to make the podium there, but they're expecting to do that here in Chile.
Yeah, like I mentioned, coming off 4 straight Central Basket, women's championships, including this last year in 2024, coming off 2 consecutive Olympic appearances. And like we said, most of that roster that have qualified for the Olympics the last 2 editions is here today. So again, these are 2 teams that are coming in with high expectations.
Let's talk about our keys to the game here as we get set in this one. Let's start with Colombia, a team that is going to look to work it from the perimeter. But what stands out to you in this game specifically?
Colombia, I'm really excited to see how their chemistry shows through. Again, we saw this in the first game today, but they don't necessarily have a ton of size. What they do have is a ton of heart, and they have a ton of good shooters. So I'm looking forward to seeing a high-scoring game from the three-point line from them, as well as some really solid defense. What you see here, even as they start to take the stage in front of us, is that neither team really has a ton of height. So I do think it's going to be a really fast-paced game today.
A lot of guard play, focus on that, play on the perimeter. For Puerto Rico, what do you expect to see?
Puerto Rico kind of along the same line, honestly. They have a little bit more experience, so I'm looking forward to this matchup simply because I think these 2 teams are going to play a very similar style of game. I think it's going to be really fast-paced. I think we're going to see a lot of track meet back and forth, and I think that's what's going to make it really fun. These 2 teams, Puerto Rico has won the last 4 matchups, and all 4 of those matchups have been within 5-10 points. So I'm really excited to see this one again today. Colombia hasn't beaten Puerto Rico here since 1997, so it'd be quite the upset.
Should be a close one. We're excited for it. Carlin Gay alongside Kelsey Wright-Johnson. Game underway here. First game in Group B, the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2025. And Colombia with the first steal of the night. Martinez looking for Gonzalez underneath. She is converged upon by 2 defenders. Kick this side, Munoz. Watched by Jones. Munoz will tee up a 3. That's short. And tapped up, and San Antonio will push the other way. We already talked about the pace. Here we are in transition. San Antonio to the basket. Can't finish the layup.
That's the one thing. I think it's going to be a really fast game, but they need to be able to slow down a little bit once they get to the rim. We've seen a lot of kind of throwing it up once you get there, but be able to play fast, but also play smart.
Rios uses the pass screen. Rios in front of Pagan. Left it way short. Pagan might have gotten a piece of it. And Gigantes taking her time up the court. Watched by Martinez. Gigantes spinning, popping, and dropping.
That's the experience that you want to see from this Puerto Rico team. She showed patience. She got to the spot that she wanted to get to. A little turnaround, and it was beautiful.
First two of the game, first two of the tournament for Puerto Rico. Rios, Gonzalez, 10 to shoot for Colombia. Hollinshed comes away with the theft. Gigantes thought about the pull-up, finds Pagan inside, but she blows the layup. Good unselfish play early on for Puerto Rico. As Rios attacking, tough layup.
And that's what I mean. She played with a really fast pace, but when she got to the hoop, she slowed herself down and kissed it off the glass.
Using the right hand on the left side of the bucket. Not an easy move. She was able to pull it off.
Not an easy move to defend either.
Rios coming up with the steal here. It's going to go the other day as she touched it last before going out of bounds. Rios, the smallest player on the floor right now, and has been pesky early on. 6 to shoot on the shot clock. Gigantes knows it, tees up the three. Off the mark, flat-footed rebound for Rios. Rios watched by San Antonio. Directing traffic. Can't get by San Antonio, hits the deck. Ball poked, and San Antonio is now called for the foul. That was good defense up until that foul call.
Yeah, great defense there by Puerto Rico. Like I said, a really experienced team. You're not going to see them make a lot of silly errors. They're not going to have them make a lot of 94-foot fouls. They're a really composed team because they've had so much experience playing together. They know where the help defense is going to be. They trust their teammates behind them. So this is going to be a fun one.
Jones touched it last. 2.7 on the shot clock for Colombia to work with on this possession. Rios will trigger the inbound. Gonzalez inside, nice move, couldn't finish. Hollinshed vacuums it in near San Antonio. This side, Jones, that's a three. Off the mark, she's gonna follow her own miss. Hollinshed will take a three. That's off. And Jones, once again attacking the old glass. It's gonna stay here. 14 on the shot clock with Puerto Rico. Good hustle by Jones.
Great hustle. Colombia cannot afford to let them get 2-3 chances at that offensive glass to be able to put more points on the board. It's going to be a close one here, so every possession is going to matter. And yeah, Colombia let up way too many chances there.
Bree Jones puts it on the deck, pulls up. Couldn't get it over the front rim. And the rebound by Paz. Rios directing traffic as she looks to get by San Antonio. Blows by her. The layup is not there as Gigantes fouls her. And that will send Rios to the line. Gigantes can't believe the foul called on her. It was quite a late whistle, but maybe the correct call. Martinez will sub out. And Moscarella will check in for the first time tonight, and the first time as a senior national team member.
Yeah, one of the youngest players that we'll probably see on this court. We talked about some of the older players, but one of the youngest just turned 18 to her debut here. She played 4 youth events, including the 2024 FIBA U18 America Championships, where she averaged 20 points a game and just over 10 rebounds per game. So a really solid addition to this Colombian team.
Question about it. Let's see how she reacts to her first action on the big stage. Rios' creative pass is intercepted. Gigantes going to the basket. Poked out of bounds there by Munoz. So stay here with 18 for Puerto Rico on the shot clock.
Another player I'm really looking forward to continue watching this tournament as she takes it real strong to the basket, but she's a scorer. She can put some balls into the hoops. She's fun to watch.
Girantes played this past season in China for Shanghai and averaged 17 points per game there. Puerto Rico sitting back into 2-3. Munoz says, I'll take a shot from deep. Jennifer Munoz started for the bronze medal winning squad back in 2024 in the South American Championship. Averaged just 7 points, 4 rebounds in that tournament. Now guarding Bree Jones. Jones using her physicality, attacking the rim. Pagan is right there to clean it up.
Really smart play. Her defender actually led her to that rebound as she followed her around. She was just found herself wide open, took advantage of the opportunity.
Munoz just hit the 3 on the last possession. Finds Gonzalez. A deep shot. That one is pure. Not known for a perimeter game. Gonzalez knocks down the first 2 of the night, a long one. Right now inside the arena, showing it as a 3. As Jones looks to respond and does. Ties the game at 9.
Brianna Jones, she's another one. Looking forward to it. Again, she went to Georgetown, Louisville previously to that. She's a really, really, really good player. She's represented Puerto Rico 8 times since 2022 and has been at the Olympics. The experience under her belt is unmatched.
Paz drills the 3s. Raining 3s at the moment. They changed the last long shot by Gonzalez to a 2, so that is a correct score on your screen of 11-9. Another 3. Hollingshed this time dropping it home.
We mentioned the lack of size, Carlin, for both these teams. We're going to see a lot of 3s and a lot of running today, and so far this first quarter, that's exactly what we're getting.
Normally in your first game, there's a little bit of a warm-up for these two teams coming out with the hot shooting, and Munoz, excuse me, getting the kind roll. Girantes step back, off the mark. Paz vacuums in the rebound. And Rios allows us to take a breather in this fast-paced first quarter. Rios turns the corner, great pass. Moscarella got hit and she'll go to the line.
What a cut, what a smart basketball IQ move we just saw there. She saw her defender sink into the key, and she saw the opportunity, the open layup on the right-hand side. Really smart play by the youngest player.
Wholesale changes for Puerto Rico as 4 new bodies step onto the floor for the Puerto Ricans, including the captain, Pamela Rosado, Melendez, and Roma. Benitez as well checking in for the Puerto Ricans. And for Colombia, Vente into the game, 14 in yellow. As they all toe the line now, as Moscarella will take some free throws. An opportunity for her to break the ice as a senior. And you have to imagine, maybe some jitters, you know, the skill level is there, but it's a different level when you play the senior level.
I mean, I never got there, Carlin, but I could imagine myself in her foot or in her shoes, and I would be nervous. She's not. Knocks him down. Knocks
both free throws down. Made him look easy for her first points as a senior national team member. She'll remember that. Benitez. Rosado. Attempt to shoot for Puerto Rico. Benitez for 3. Off the mark. Offensive rebound for Melendez. Rosado attacking baseline. Can't get the kind roll. And that time, last touch by Moscarado, and that will stay here.
Puerto Rico's getting a lot of shots up that look open to them right now, simply because Colombia has just not has their hands up. If they just have their hands up on defense, it's going to stop a lot of these shots. For the last maybe 3 shots by Puerto Rico have been right in Colombia's face.
Rios checks out of the game. Girantes, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Roma on the moving pick. So with Rios on the bench now for Colombia, see where the creation for Colombia comes from offensively. It'll be Be up to Lopez, who now has the basketball, stepping into her shoes. 3-point lead for Colombia, first game for these two teams here at the Women's AmeriCup. Munoz. Lopez was left alone for a second, but didn't take the three that was available for her. 5 to shoot. Lopez, good hands there by Rosado. Solis. Melendez. That's perfect play on the fast break.
That's where the chemistry comes into play. They trust each other, they know where they're going to be, and they know what to look for, where their teammates are going to be. That was really beautiful basketball.
Another 3 to play in the first quarter, a 1-point game. Gonzalez finding the touch, that time from the nail. Both teams shooting the ball well to start this basketball game. Colombia 67% from the field. Girantes weaving through traffic. Can't get that to fall. Munoz will push the other way. Does not have numbers. She'll hold up. Here's Gonzalez. Mascarada. Back to the top, it's Lopez. 7 to shoot. Gonzalez will try a 3. Left it on the front rim. And Melendez vacuums in that rebound. Benitez for 3. She stepped into it but couldn't knock it down. Might be a little bit of a broadcaster jinx. I said everyone's shooting well, and all of a sudden, points have dried up in the last couple possessions.
Well, hey, I think both teams started out really hot from the 3 and in the fast break. Might be time to get their second wind under them, and I think we'll see the fast breaks and the 3s come again. It's exhausting.
It is. Munoz was towing the line, but could knock down that long, too. Rosado. Girantes, the only starter left on the floor. Attacking, was stripped. On the ground is Mascarada, and Colombia comes up with the basketball. Lopez wants to slow things down so they can run a set.
Colombia has shown that they can get points on the fast break. Now they're looking to practice some of their plays and their sets here and really, you know, get the feel for their first game here in Santiago.
Munoz tees up the 3, a deep one, and she drills it.
That's the definition of hand down, man down. She nailed that shot. What a beautiful shot.
And that leads to a timeout. As Munoz now up to 8 points in this game, leading all scorers on Colombia. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in the first period. We'll listen in to the Puerto Rican huddle.
You know, tú tienes que saber a quién tú tienes. You have to know who you got, right? So post player is here, right? You have to go all the way to put pressure to her, okay? Estás haciendo la cortina, cuando ella pasa y se mete para la esquina, viene en doble cortina, pégate cuando ella se vaya para que la persiga, okay? Estamos parados, gente. We are standing on defense. That's what we're doing. All right, come on, here we go. 20 points, that's too much. Listen up. 20 points, that's too much. Watch the press over. If they go to some, we do 30, okay? If not, we're gonna go like this, okay? Taira, cortina, okay? Pase por cortina, arena, okay? Hand off, balls clear. Watch the other side, okay? Watch the press!
So out of that timeout, we'll take a look at some of the highlights from the first 9 minutes of this basketball game. 6-point lead for Colombia, and they've been able to find the range from the line and beyond. Munoz up to 8 points. She's drilled 2 threes.
It's so interesting to hear what the coach emphasizes during timeouts, which is such a fun insight that we get to see during these broadcasts. But it was all about defense there for Puerto Rico. It seems like coach happy with offense so far. Of course, 14 points early on, but it was all about defense, not losing your man, staying active. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Puerto Rico responds to the information they got in the timeout.
A very calm timeout for Jerry Batista. He's been here before. He knows this is early in the tournament. No need to empty the gas tank. Tyra Melendez underneath. Bucket and the foul. Should go to the line for one more. Foul on Vente. It's going to be her first. And only the second team foul here for Colombia in this period. Well, if you want energy, Tyra Melendez is exactly that. Played on both Olympic teams in the past 2 Olympic Games for Puerto Rico. Won the Defensive Player of the Year in the Puerto Rican Pro League the last 2 times. And she brings it on both ends of the floor.
Well, plus she's just a winner. She's podiumed at 3 different FIBA events. She's been to the Olympics twice. This is a player who knows how to lead by example, who's just a bona fide winner. She just knows how to get it done. Definitely
a culture setter. Has been attached at the hip with Coach Batista, as has this young woman with the ball. Rosado for 3. Ties the game at 20 with the shot clock unplugged. It'll be Lopez, uses the Vente screen. Caicedo to the basket, couldn't get it to go. And that's how we end the first 10 minutes of play.
That's how you want to end, though, Carlin. A drive, a really strong drive right down the middle of the key. Obviously, she would have wanted it to go in, but that's the look that you're trying to get when you run those plays. And it was right at the end of the shot clock. You couldn't ask for much more from a coach.
We started the game tied. We end the first period tied at 20. Here are the first period stats. You see there, the shooting percentages started off hot, slowly coming back down to earth.
Yeah, you look at the shooting percentages from the 3, and it looks like it's incredibly different, but they both made 3 threes, so still kind of even on there from beyond the arc. Started out real hot in this quarter. Both teams shooting so well, like Carlin mentioned. A little bit cooling off now. Both really fast at the beginning, both starting to slow down now and really get set in it. And we're seeing a lot of scoring from a lot of different players on both teams. It's been a really even match so far in this game, obviously with the score, but I mean evenly throughout the team as well. Not one player has kind of taken over. It's been a team effort for both of these squads.
Yeah, it's good ball movement as well for both teams. Rebounding battle essentially equal. As you take a look at Bree Jones and Hollenship moving, and Jones also coming into this game, knocking down that 3. Melendez, the leading scorer for Puerto Rico with 5 points and counting. She is a +1 on the floor so far in this basketball game. On the other side, it's Jennifer Munoz with 8 points and counting. Those 2 threes so huge, and was able to kickstart this offense a little bit for Colombia.
I mean, just in that first quarter, Carlin, we've had 7 lead changes. This is going to be a really fun one. We had mentioned that we think it's going to be a close one to watch between these 2 teams tonight. And if the first quarter is indicative of that, it's 2020, 0-0. Let's start over.
You don't want to miss a moment of this FIBA AmeriCup. You don't want to miss a moment of the Eurobasket either. So scan the QR code on your screen right now. Courtside 1891, your app for streams, schedules, scores, and so much more. Your home for FIBA basketball. Kelsey's favorite app. She's going to be giving it a workout here in this tournament.
I have it on both my phones.
She has 2 phones, folks. Most of us only have 1.
Amy has 2, so you're the outlier here.
I am the outlier. Our partner, Amy Audibert, who you'll hear on the mic as well, here in Santiago, Chile, as we are lucky enough to be courtside and into your living rooms, or wherever you are, and however you're watching.
You can watch it anywhere.
Yeah, courtside 1891. Colombia will start with the basketball to start this second quarter. Rios back into the game, had it poked out of her hands. Will stay here with 17 on the shot clock. Most of the same starters for Colombia to start this second quarter, and a foul before the ball's even inbounded as Martinez got held by Jones. And Paz will now trigger the inbound. Rios. Good hesitation dribble, pulls up at the nail. Off the back iron, Pagan with the rebound. There's Smith, first touch of the rock for her. Pagan tees up the 3, straight on. Can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound, Velez trying a scoop layup, but couldn't get it to go. whistle blows since she was hammered. And the foul's going to be called. Looks like on Munoz. Here's the replay.
Yeah, she does a really good job at kind of staying strong. She's laughing at herself there because she knows that kind of hit her in the face when it came off the backboard, but staying strong and getting her own rebound off that. It's interesting because both defenses, it doesn't look like either team is switching any screens, so there's going to be a lot of either open shots or open layups.
Well, as soon as you say that, no switch that time, and Velez steps into a long two. There's the shooting percentages on your screen. 44% for Colombia, 39% for Puerto Rico. There's a 2-point lead for Puerto Rico. Gonzalez trying to shake Hollinshed. Gonzalez bumping in the lane. Hollinshed swallows the basketball. Munoz for three. Indeed.
Hollinshed did that effortlessly too. Just kind of reached that left arm up there and just having to connect with the ball and all ball. What a block.
Incredible block. But do you give Gonzalez the assist as it squirted out to her teammate? And she drilled the three. Gonzalez slow to get up.
She's giving the stats people time to figure out the assist.
We don't do manual stats here. We wait for the digital version, so we'll find out what happens. But here's the replay.
What a block there. Hits her leg, gets out. That would be the hockey assist. Mabel Martinez.
Indeed, I missed the Mabel Martinez possession. She was able to pick it up and swing it.
I think it would have been, though, if Martinez had made that shot.
Would have, indeed. And Gonzalez is A-OK, so off we go again. Another lead switch. Is Colombia in front by one. Here's Hollinshed. Showed you the defense on the other end as Jones gets bumped on the cut. As Paz on the foul. It's a second team foul here for Colombia.
Bree Jones is the type of player that I would have wanted to play with. She's really, really tough. You can tell she gets through screens. Nothing really stops her. She gets downhill. I like the way she plays.
Yesterday at Media Day, she was flexing. You could tell she does not spend time away from the gym. She's in there. Smith to the hole. What a move.
She just flexed. They hear us out there.
Smith's first basket here in this one, and it was a pretty one. Munoz spinning, stripped. Les has it, crossing over, and then lost control. A little bit of sloppy play here in the last couple of minutes, but Rios will slow things down. She's got to get over the timeline. Just made it. Not a lot of movement on this possession for Colombia. Rios turns on the Jets. Didn't need any movement. Went right to the basket.
Sometimes when you're a point guard and you're setting up your team to try and figure out what you're doing, what play you're running, and you see an opportunity like she did there, you just got to take it. Forget the play at that point. She had a wide open left-hand layup.
Colombia's starting to turn up the pressure defensively. Velez. Inside, gorgeous pass. What a block! Gonzalez says no. Munoz inside to Gonzalez. Gets double teamed. Forces up a shot, couldn't get the fall. Last touch by Colombia, and they can't believe it. They thought they had possession. It's going to go the other way. But what a block by Gonzalez coming out of nowhere to swat it.
We've had two of the best blocks in this quarter so far in this tournament. We're in game 3, and we've had two of the best, one from each team to start off this game.
Set up the top defense is going to have to be a priority for both these teams, and they've been doing that and making coaches proud on both sides. Coach Cuenta, hands on hips, looks over to his team as they settle into a little bit of a zone. And Velez will take her time across the timeline here. Three knocked down that time by Girantes. Back into the game and onto the score sheet. And gives Puerto Rico the lead once again.
It's the 11th lead change so far in this game. We said it was going to be close just because of how similar the styles are between these two teams, and you're really seeing it in this first half.
A lot of familiarity between these two teams. Rios down the lane, floats it off the window. How about Rios coming to play?
She has got such an eye for the drive, when to drive and get to the glass, when to drive and pull up, when to pass it. Her basketball IQ has been evident so far in this first quarter. It's been really fun to see her as a foul, an offensive foul call is there, a little screen.
Second team foul for Puerto Rico in this quarter. Back to Rios for a second. Playing pro in Brazil for São José. Averaged 16 points per game in that league. 6.6 assists. She's played in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, and Mexico. Has done the tour, got her passport stamped up. And now she's here representing her nation and doing it at a high level. Smallest player on the floor right now at 5'4". But getting it done. Moscarella, good hesitation, but couldn't finish as Smith was there to defend the goal.
Stayed with it though, and that's what I like to see from a debut player. Stayed with it, got the tip out, and then got the rebound, the second rebound from her teammate to put it in.
Big smile on her face as she trots back down defensively, up to 4 points and counting in her debut. Smith will tee up a three, left it short, and a flat-footed rebound for Paz. Coach Cuenta slows things down, calls out his set. And Rio will use a Paz screen, turns the corner with some speed. Smith fouled her. It's on the floor, so their shot clock will reset back to 14. It'll be a baseline inbound for Colombia.
Again, Rios just understands the game. She knows when to drive, and just then she found the opening on the right-hand side, drove in, it got knocked away. She'll get the foul call, and she'll get the possession back on the baseline. But just really interesting to see when she's driving and when she's dishing. She understands really well.
Active hands for Puerto Rico on this possession. 9 on the shot clock. Colombia will keep it. San Antonio back into the game. She just checked in for Smith. Munoz, washed by San Antonio. Paz, an awkward shot, didn't make it to the rim. And San Antonio will push the other way. Takes a bump. Finds Rosado for three. Can't get it to fall. Munoz will slow it down and hands to Rios. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Tightly contested basketball game. 29-27 to score. Colombia with the rock and the lead. Hollingshed got a finger to it. Good hustle by Hollingshed. Almost able to get possession for Puerto Rico. Will stay here with 4.5 to shoot. And Coach Cuenta wants to talk about it. Timeout on the floor. 4:47 remaining in the second quarter. Colombia up 2 here in the first game of Group B.
Para el tiro. Vamos a hacerlo así en un zipper de una vez. En un zipper de una. Julie, a Manuela, Daniela, juegue el saque Marta y Jennifer abierta al tiro. Manu, aquí cuando cogimos tenemos 5 para este pick. Julie. Abra, pero cargue el rebote después del ataque, porque vamos a ir de una. Dani, cuando usted juegue el pick, usted va a abrir. Jennifer, Marta, cuando usted juegue el saque, se mete por acá, por debajo. Tenemos 5 segundos para el tiro. Listo, vamos a ejecutarlo. Pues.
So a 2-point game here midway through the second quarter. Colombia here showing their range and land beyond. Shooting 57%, Kelsey, from 3-point range is Colombia. And threes have dried up on the other end for Puerto Rico, just 33% from deep.
Yeah, kind of a flip-flop there with the 2-point percentage versus the 3-point percentage. One team doing it real well in Puerto Rico from the 2, but 2s don't quite match 3s.
A bailout foul there as Rosado hacks Rios. The shot clock was close to expiration that time, and Rios will toe the line here for 2 free throws. Well, we talked a lot about Rios in this half. She's played for the national team since 2016. This is her 10th event and has been an all-star 5 times in those events. And if you stop the tournament right now, she'd be an all-star in this one too.
Absolutely. She's a player who can just, she not only scores, but when you look at her last AmeriCup stats back in 2023, 8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and just over 4 assists per game. She kind of does it all.
Says her biggest role model is, get this, Tony Parker. That's why she wears that number 9.
When you said get this, I thought it was going to be me.
Well, you didn't wear number 9.
I didn't. You don't know that.
I do.
What number did I wear?
33. Did you not? Oh, I made that up. Here's Rios, the number 9. Trying inspiration from Tony Parker. And getting to the basket. That was pretty.
A nice Euro step. Paying homage to Tony Parker there. That was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So what number did you wear?
11.
3 times 11, whatever.
I'm not mad at it. It's a double number.
Here's Giantes.
Oh,
fires
nice.
a pass inside. Hollingshed was fouled and she'll go to the line.
That was a crafty pass that she made there. Got up and under her defender and kind of scooped it underhand right down low into that restricted area. Doesn't go in, but it sends her teammates to the line.
As we take a look at that beautiful move as Rios weaving through traffic and kissing it off the glass. Vente back into the game for Colombia. Munoz will sit, as will Paz. And Delgado will check into the game for the first time for Colombia, 22 in yellow. Meanwhile, Hollingshed, her first free throw off the mark. Hollingshed did play this past season in China for Leonin. Averaged 6.1 points per game in a very tough physical league. Of course, she started all 3 games at the Paris Games, and she's taking that experience, bringing here to Colombia, to Chile.
And against Colombia, she got 6 points on the night already tonight.
Gonzalez banging her way through the lane. Took some contact, and she'll go to the line. That's the 5th foul for Puerto Rico here in this period, and that will put them in the penalty the rest of the way.
Yeah, Tyra Melendez is not happy about that call. Let's take another look at it here. Ah, she forgot about her right arm.
Not much of an argument to be made there. Definitely a foul call as Gonzalez knocks down the first free throw. Daniela Gonzalez, South Alabama last season in the NCAA. 9.6 boards, can also share the rock at 2 assists. You see her extending her range a little bit more here in this game with a couple of deep bombs in the first quarter. San Antonio spinning, 1-footed jump shot, knocks it down.
This Puerto Rico team plays with a lot of swag. They make some really tough shots as they get back into a zone defense here, but they're fun to watch because of their style of play on the offensive end.
Rios tried to find Vente. Last touch, they say, by Puerto Rico. 7 on the shot clock.
That's a way to break a zone. You either get 3s, you get your open 3s, and you force them out of the zone, or you get that ball down low, and they did just that there. If only she could hold on to it.
How crafty is Rios? Knocking it off the back of a defender and putting it in.
Manuela Rios, she has been such a star in this first half for Colombia.
Giantes responds with a deep 2. And you're right, Puerto Rico sitting back into that zone, knowing that they're in the penalty. Don't want to have anyone get into foul trouble this early in the game. Rios has it.
Rios is just so patient. You see how long she waited for the right pass.
All tapped out of bounds. A turnover here for Colombia. Rare turnover here for Colombia in the half court. And Bree Jones will check back in for Puerto Rico. As will Paz for Colombia. She'll replace Vente. Lopez will check into the game for Gonzalez. So both teams going to their bench early here and often. Durantes, Hollingshed. Melendez hands to Jones. Jones pulls for two. Off the mark, and that rebound vacuumed in by Lopez. Rios did not have the numbers, so she'll slow things down and get a set going. Delgado from the corner for three. Indeed. There's the patience once again, Kels.
The patience and the assist. A beautiful pass from Rios, an even better finish from Delgado.
Hollingshead's triples off the mark. A grab underneath as Melendez was trying to board. Foul's going to be called with 21 Lopez.
With that Delgado three of the play ago, Colombia shooting 62.5% from the three-point line. Puerto Rico, I know they're in that zone. They got to start rushing these girls off the line or getting two hands up or forcing them into twos. They got to figure out something because the zone will give up those twos or they're shooting or threes, but they're shooting way too good from the three.
Hollingshed hands to Rosado. Rosado trying to probe. Melendez with 5 to shoot. Triantes on the baseline, tough move, counted and the foul. And a little emotion out of that move by number 22.
That's a really fun matchup. You have the young debut 18-year-old versus the absolute vet who spent time in the WNBA, who's played overseas. That's going to be a matchup that I think is going to be really fun to watch, especially moving into the second half.
Triantes was the MVP of November's Central Basket Tournament in Mexico, scoring a tournament best 31 points, 40 of them in the title game. Incredible.
That's crazy.
Performance from her. Rios again. It's Rios's world. We're just living in it.
She has been playing absolutely amazing. Her change of speed, her ability to get to the bucket, especially being so undersized against some of these bigger girls on Puerto Rico. She has been really, really, really great. The scoring, the passing, the basketball IQ. She'd be in my all-star team if we were to have it right this second.
You said you needed size to play this game. 5'4" Rios, dominating so far in the first half. Let's head to the Puerto Rican huddle.
Tyra, you here. Maya, you here. Araya, you here. Three on the other corner. Screen, pass, screen, go hard, leave, screen.
Who's this? Me?
Yeah, screen. Roll hard to the basket. Roll hard to the basket. Okay?
So I get a screen the same thing we did right there?
Your play.
Short roll, be ready for that.
Show the side. Okay?
They might
Show
trap
the
it.
side. So she can
If it's a big thing, I'll get around.
Okay.
Everybody be ready.
Well, Rios has put on a show here this afternoon for Colombia. Her team up 5 with 1:24 remaining in the first half. Has been able to get to the teeth of the defense and cause some damage.
Manuela Rios, 14 of her team's 40 points so far, shooting 75% from the field. When we got a look into Puerto Rico's timeout, once again, the focus is on defense. They know that they can score 35 points so far in the first half, but they need to stop Colombia. And so that's what coach continues to preach. Defense, defense, defense. Know where your player is. Stay active on the defensive end.
Giantes uses the Hollingshed screen. Good ball movement. It's Melendez from the corner. Can't get it to fall. Tapped up by Jones. Kept alive. And a fresh 14 for Puerto Rico. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Rios is going to get called for the foul, and that will send Rosado to the line as both teams in a penalty.
That's a foul that Rios wishes she could get back, I'm sure. Just got caught reaching, got a little bit greedy there trying to steal the ball as Rosado kind of hit the ground, but Puerto Rico now looks to take advantage of it with less than a minute left.
Ageless wonder, Pamela Rosado, 39 years of age. She was the third oldest player at last summer's Olympic Games, only behind the great Lauren Jackson and the great Diana Taurasi. Great category to be in, longevity, and she's still playing. Those two aren't.
Look at that.
Back into that zone for Puerto Rico. Delgado turns. And a good poke away that time by Velez.
That's exactly what you want from your zone.
Velez tripped on an imaginary defender, but able to get the ball to Hollingshed. Gigantes in front of Rios. Crossing over. Got to the lane, but it was rejected by Paz. We've seen a couple incredible blocks here in this first half. And another one to add to the reel. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock. So Colombia will look to hold for the last look of this half. Rios tosses one up as she felt the contact and will go back to the foul line. Everything going right for Rios.
I just want to watch her play all day long. She has been so fun. She's got to the foul line for 5 shots so far today. This will be 6 and 7, shooting 40% from the charity stripe so far. But you're right, she has just been a firecracker for this Colombian team.
Defensive changes there by Colombia. They'll bring Gonzalez back into the game. Alongside Moscarella, Vente, and Caicedo as Rios gets the first free throw.
If you're Colombia, of course, you have a slight lead going into the last 4.7 seconds of this one. You do not want to let Puerto Rico get downhill and get a quick one.
Rosado will check into the game for Puerto Rico. And Trinity San Antonio as well on the floor. 23 in red. Benitez all the way on the other end of the floor. They finally identified her. She was camping out. Bree Jones will trigger this inbound. Here's San Antonio using her speed. Has enough time for a look. Lost control of the basketball. Ends up in the hands of Caicedo. And a great start to the tournament for Colombia.
Colombia in that first half, 45% from 2, 62.5% from the three-point line, and that's what separated them from Puerto Rico. Their three-point shooting was on fire to start the first half. They picked it back up to start the second, and it's been, or the second quarter, excuse me, it's been really, really fun to watch. The free throws about even. It's that three-point percentage that's been kicking butt.
Rebound advantage for Puerto Rico, +5 in that department. Both teams taking care of the basketball relatively well to start this tournament. And you rarely see that in game number 1 of a tournament. But as you mentioned off the top, these two teams know each other. They played with each other for a very long time, so the chemistry is there. Saw the latest scores of the first half, and we'll take a look at some of the first half highlights here in the opening game in Group B.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, like I said, off to a hot start there. That was a long 2. I probably wish you could have stepped back a little bit. And then the block by Hollingshed was one of the most fun. The arena kind of exploded there, and it's not even, it's chilly in here right now. So that was a fun one. Puerto Rico putting some points up on the board, and then it was all Rios for Colombia. Nothing was going wrong for her this entire quarter. 14 points for her so far in this game.
Gigantes also got things going for Puerto Rico. But again, you're going to see a lot of Rios on this highlight reel as she Euro-stepped her way to the cup that time. Coach Batista talking defensively about making sure that you stop the ball at some point. Haven't been able to control number 9 in yellow through the first 20 minutes of play. Munoz had 2 threes in that first half. And again,
oh, that was my favorite Rios basket of the first half.
This is probably Puerto Rico's favorite Rios highlight. It's just her high-fiving her teammates as she heads to the bench for a quick breather. San Antonio with that one-footed jump shot. Rios probably the craftiest play of the night.
Yep.
Banging it off the back of Hollingshed that time.
I'd be so mad.
That happened to you?
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Rios leading all scorers with 16 points. Gigantes with 10 leading the way for Puerto Rico. And that's the score at the half, 42-36 in favor of Colombia. Colombia starting off the tournament on the right foot. We'll take a quick break and be back with more here from Chile.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Side ball game, Perez on the run. It's blocked by Guasmi. Puerto Rico ball.
Shot down the stretch there. Guasmi coming up with a big-time block.
And friends, we are going to overtime. Easy rebound from Jackson to feed up to Reese. That one's pretty! And one, Reese. The combo.
Great concentration. Reese running the length of the floor.
Look pass feed into Durant. She gets it with the roller.
They're also getting a little frustrated pushing the wrong way. You see the no-look pass, nice finish, and dish. Drop it off.
Oh, it's a miss. One speed behind the back pass for Hardo.
You see the behind the back pass, nice finish. Back door. Bow. Get out of here.
Get it down low. Alexander working with Reese. Shakes the right.
And that ball didn't touch the floor once. Shimmy, step through, up, bucket.
Dantes, a little fake out. Driving, Euro, in for two.
She was just so patient right there. She waited for the defense to break down.
Hill, enough time to do something with it. Kicks it into the elbow and will hit it for two.
Big time shot. And Sammy just elevates into a jump shot, fading to her left, knocking it down right at the buzzer.
USA, ball into Reese. She holds on, has to get it up. Rakia Jackson.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Back we are here in Santiago, Chile, as the gym begins to fill up here at halftime of Colombia leading Puerto Rico 42-36. As we take a look at some of the top scores from the first half. Ariela Gigantes, 10 points and counting in this one, and she's done it from every level on the floor.
I really like the way she plays. You can tell how much experience she has just in the game of basketball from all levels, from FIBA to professional all around the world. She's really fun to watch because of how smart she is. Her decision making, and when she drives, when she pulls up, even defensively, she's a really solid player for Puerto Rico.
She led Puerto Rico in scoring at the Olympic Games last summer and leading Puerto Rico in scoring through the first 20 minutes here at the FIBA AmeriCup. You see her splashing in the triple. There's a 3-level scorer, going to be one of the top scorers likely in this competition. On the other side for Colombia, how about number 9? Manuela Rios, excuse me, 16 points and counting for her.
Yeah, she is the most fun. She is like the MVP of the game at this very moment. And she is just getting to the spots. She's getting to the rack. And one of the smallest players out there, somehow so crafty, so quick to be able to get by the defenders almost every single time. And there she pulls up a little awkward finish, but kisses it off the glass and it goes in. I want them to do the Euro again. Is this it right here?
This is it. We
whoop, 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 whoop. She's fun.
She's been terrific to watch so far. You made a comment about her taking her time in that first half, and it's paid off for her because she has that stop-go kind of mentality, and really that change of pace is so tough to defend.
Yeah, she's got 16 points, 2 assists, 1 steal so far. It seems like she's had more than 1 assist, but
scoring in bunches, has been binging on buckets.
She has.
Here in the
binging
first
on buckets.
Half. And her team leads right now at the half by 6, 42-36 your score. As we count down towards the start of the second half. This is game 3 of a 4-game day here in Chile. We saw 2 games prior to this one. Canada defeating El Salvador. A fantastic performance for the Canadians in that one. They now top Group A.
Yeah, the game after this is going to be really fun too, Carlin. It is a sold-out crowd. The host Chile taking on USA. The first time we'll see both of those teams. We have another half here between Colombia and Puerto Rico. Colombia holding Puerto Rico to just 16 points in that quarter, and it's interesting to see the disparity in how these teams are scoring. And I thought it would be a little more even. Colombia has 2 players in double digits right now, but Puerto Rico just 1 in double digits. They've had 9 players contribute, putting points on the board so far, which makes it even more difficult, I think, for Colombia to kind of hone in on 1 player for Puerto Rico. So it's going to be interesting how they adjust on the defensive end moving forward.
Leading scorer of that unit, 10 points and counting for Aliada Irantes. 13 points from the bench for Puerto Rico. That could pay dividends as we go through this game, but also throughout the tournament. A very deep squad is this Puerto Rican national team. On the flip side, Colombia, 1 leading scorer is 16 points. We're going to talk about Rios till we're blue in the face, really. But they've been able to get some contributions from other parts, and that's the reason why they're in front.
Yeah, Jennifer Munoz has been a big contributing factor as well. 11 points from her today. She's shooting 50% from the field, and most of that has come from the 3 for 3 from the 3-point line so far for her today. It's been fun. We've mentioned it, 14 lead changes so far. The game has been tied 4 times, and we're only at the halfway mark. It only gets better from here.
You mentioned that Puerto Rico only scoring 16 points in that second quarter. And Colombia, we talked about their offense, but how about their defense so far in this game?
I mean, their defense hasn't been an issue, really. We get into the Puerto Rican timeouts a lot, and it's defense, defense, defense. Colombia, it seems to be a little more even-keeled. Really, really solid on offense, really solid on defense, and big anchors from some of their centers down low. Their guards are really pesky. They're getting in kind of the pockets of the Puerto Rican guards, but then when they're blown by, their bigs have been really good. They've made some really good blocks. We've seen Paz make some great blocks down low, and so this is a really solid squad. I think these 2 teams, what did I say? They hadn't won since 1997. It could be a really good one here today, and a little bit of an upset. if Colombia continues to play the way they're playing on offense and defense.
Yeah, very tough Group B. Well, both groups are really tough. Only the top teams here in the Americas, but a really tough Group B when you think about Mexico, when you think about Colombia, we've now seen a half of, Team USA and Chile will yet to play. Puerto Rico also rounding out that group. Mexico having the off day, being able to kind of look and see and scout a little bit. But from what we've seen so far from this Group B, it's going to be a very close, competitive group. And only one team will miss out. But the 4 teams that go through are going to be solid, and they'll have their eyes on the prize.
Absolutely.
On the flip side, Group A, we've seen 2 games through that, with Canada defeating El Salvador. They'll top that group with point differential, a big win for Canada, plus 66 in that one. And then Brazil and Argentina, at times it looked like Brazil was dominant, then they fell off a little bit, but then they closed the show when it was time to do that. They won that one by 21.
Argentina, it didn't feel like a 21-point game though. Argentina had some fight in them at the end, got it within 8 points a couple times, just couldn't get over that hill. But again, Argentina is not a team, like they're not a sleeper team. They're here to play, they're here to medal. You can see what they want to do and what their goals are. They're not here to just grab a couple group phase wins and then move on.
The Dominican Republic, the 5th team in that group to make up the numbers in Group A. They have the rest day and will start their tournament tomorrow. Moments away from the start of the second half as Colombia leading Puerto Rico 42-36 in this one. There's the Puerto Rican huddle. Lee's dropping to him.
Go high low with you, okay? Hopefully can guard you, okay? No, go fake, then make a basket, okay? You got 2. So you go like here. Areya here. Areya is gonna do it like this. You're gonna do it like that. You're gonna set a screen. And roll hard. And die. She's popping up, okay? Estamos claros. So we have, they don't have it like the way to help. We have shooters here, okay? They go last, we have shooters on the other side. Estamos claros, okay? Start strong. Main basket, sit up, main basket. Wide press, 1, wide, 1. Slow them down, okay? Like this, 2, 1. Measure, go to the middle, and then we go on 2, okay? Yeah. Listen, on the zone, I wanna try to finish on 5.
Scream, don't go too low.
I wanna try to finish in 5.
2 down or 10.
Hear me? I wanna try to finish in 5. Okay? So if we say 5, change it. Okay. You have Daniela, box her out. Okay, box her out. Okay?
Everyone, Puerto Rico! Let's go!
So Puerto Rico will come out of the huddle. It will be their basketball to start the second half. And they have a deficit in front of them, 42-36.
And you heard Coach say it. I think the first 5 minutes of this quarter are going to be really important for this team. They're going to come out really hot in this first half of the third quarter. Expect them to really push the pace in the first 5 minutes here.
Giantes will inbound. Off we go. Puerto Rico in the red uniforms, Colombia in the yellow. First game for these 2 teams in Group B here at the Women's AmeriCup. Carlin Gay alongside Kelsey Wright-Johnson, wore number 11 in their playing days. Munoz comes away with the steal, finds it at the foul line, and she'll take 2 free throws from that spot where she just took the jump shot.
Yeah, San Antonio just didn't get to the spot in time to get a hand up.
Quick sub here will bring Rosado into the game for San Antonio.
Yeah, that's her 4th foul. That's not something you want to see if you are Team Puerto Rico. She's a really important piece, especially on the defensive end. A really good guard that can kind of go from 94 feet to 94 feet, has a lot of energy. Now she's going to probably ride the bench until the 4th.
Munoz splits the pair of free throws. Rosado now try to get things going offensively for Puerto Rico. The 2-man game between Rosado and Giantes. Rosado blew the layup and then stepped out of bounds on the offensive rebound. They're calling Bree Jones on the offensive foul. So Jones picks up a foul here. It's already the 2nd team foul here in the quarter for Puerto Rico.
The 2nd personal foul for Brianna Jones. She's going to stay in the game. Kind of got one to play with this quarter.
Defense extended for Puerto Rico. Benitez kicks it. They're going to reset the shot clock here, because the kickball happened in the backcourt. Goes back to 24. Tough pass inside. Hollingshead got a hand to it and then retrieved it. Now looking to weave through traffic. Jones skips it. Jones will tee for three. Too strong. And Gonzalez with the rebound. Martinez has been quiet tonight. Oldest player on the floor for Colombia. Munoz misses the triple. She'll drive this time. There's Rios. Right to the rim. Can't get it to go.
But she got there. She got there. And if you are Puerto Rico, you're in the zone. You don't want to be able to have her just slash through your zone like that.
Did not see a red jersey on her way to the rim. Hollingshead aside, Jones with the jab. Benitez for three. They needed that.
She said, quiet game.
Reduces the lead to 4, her first 3 of the night. Defense extended once again for Puerto Rico. Let's take a look at that last replay from Benitez, drilling the 3. Meanwhile, in live action, that ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay here.
Yeah, there was a kickball there by Puerto Rico, kind of deflecting the pass there. It'll stay with Colombia here. Mabel Martinez.
Short on the 3. Hasn't been able to find the touch tonight. Girantes will gallop back the other way. Here's Hollingshead. She walks into a triple. Can't get it to fall. And a slow start for both teams here in this third.
What Colombia has done a really good job at in the second half is one and done. They're not allowing Puerto Rico to get any second chance opportunities. They have stopped every single one of those so far in this one.
Martinez finally drills a triple, and with the fist pump on the way back down the court.
You gotta tell all these girls are having slow nights. They respond right after.
Yeah, they're like, shut up, Carlin. You hold this three-pointer. Rosado has it. She'll tee up a 3. Can't get it over the front of the rim. Ball pinballs around. And Rios got the rebound, but they gave it back to Puerto Rico. Hollingshead steps into it. Indeed.
And that is the first time this half that Puerto Rico has had somewhat of a resemblance of second chance opportunity, even though Rios had the possession there, and they made the most out of it with a big 3 from Hollingshead.
Saw the replay there for Hollingshead, and we'll come back to live action with 8 on the shot clock for Colombia to work with. It's Rios. Martinez trying this side for 3 now. Can't get it to fall. Paz vacuums in the rebound. And a fresh 14 for Colombia. Munoz walking through. Puerto Rico bench wanted to travel. Munoz couldn't complete the move. Still a 4-point lead for Colombia. Rosado turns the corner. Sees Gonzalez, thinks better of it. Benitez driving, can't get it to go. And Gonzalez, smart tap there to Rios. Rios stopping and going to the tin and almost got it to fall.
What Rios does so good, and we've said this so many times, what she does so well is Puerto Rico is still running back. They still have their back to her, and she just zooms by, goes right to it. She has no fear. You can see there, just zoomed by number 2 on Puerto Rico, Brianna Jones, and gets herself to the line. Just a really smart, like I said, patient, high basketball IQ player. I love watching her.
Melendez, back on the floor for Puerto Rico. As Rios is back to the line. Has led the team in scoring so far tonight.
17 for her tonight. One of the only players for the team to reach double digits. One of only 2. She's got 18 points now and shooting just over 66% from the field.
Yeah, the other player mentioned being in double figures, Jennifer Munoz, she has 12. So scoring backcourt for Colombia, leading the way right now. Girantes bullying her way to the tin. It's an offensive foul as Gonzalez takes it in the chest. And Gigantes saying, hey, that's a flop.
She went real strong to the basket. I think it could have gone either way there. Obviously, the ref has a closer angle than we do. We'll get a little replay here. Really strong take. Looks like, yeah, that chicken wing.
Extended the arm.
Yep.
Chicken wing indeed. Made me hungry now. Thank you for that.
That's what all my coaches called it.
Yeah.
We'll get the Canadian coach who coached me in college on the broadcast, and she'll tell you. She called it a chicken wing.
She's here indeed, coaching Team Canada. Carly Clark. Here's the head coach for Puerto Rico and for Colombia, Jerry Batista, and Coach Cuentas for Colombia. Done a phenomenal job with these two rosters. Mabel Martinez, long two, can't get it to fall. Rebound up for grabs. Martinez on the floor has it. And a fresh 14 for her squad.
Colombia is all heart right now. Every single rebound is, as soon as I say that, Hollingshed grabs hers. But every single rebound you see, 3 yellow jerseys surround that ball. The effort is all there from Colombia.
That's a great move by Hollingshed. Couldn't finish it.
But again, they kept it to 1 single possession. Puerto Rico is not getting any second chance opportunities in this second half.
Munoz. Tees up the 2, kissed it off the window. She called it, Kelsey.
I love that. I love that. That is old school basketball right there. A high off the glass, into the hoop. Beautiful, beautiful pull up.
Gigantes driving against 2, Euro stepping her way through. Can't get it to fall. One and done once again. Is Rios. Hesitation dribble. Oh, got it up over size, but can't get it to fall. She wanted a foul call. Rosado will push back the other way. Hollingshed. No one stepped in front of her. An easy float for 2.
Yeah, Rosado kind of got stuck there, picked up her dribble. Hollingshed's the exact person I want to get the ball to. Perfect execution. She can shoot from the 3, she can drive, and makes the exact right decision there.
Hollingshed starting to find her offense here in this third quarter. Now up to 9 points and counting. Rios baseline again, gave it away. Rosado pushing to the basket. And that's going to lead to a timeout. So a spurt for Puerto Rico as they come alive, using defense to turn into offense, and reduces the lead to 4 with 4:06 to play here in the third quarter. We'll listen in to the Colombian huddle and Coach Cuentas.
Y estamos acá nuevamente, mi querida familia AmeriCup, con el siguiente desafío.
Hay que poner 2 cosas, carácter y orden, 2 cosas. El juego nada ha cambiado, las mismas cosas, sigue en zona, jugamos bien contra zona, sigue en personal, seguimos buscando lo mismo y cuidando el balance. Pero si aquí en este momento ellas están abajo, ponen carácter para jugar, vamos a poner carácter nosotros también, a correr y atacar y a rebotar, lo que tenemos que hacer en el juego. De una vez, vamos en rombo. Rombo con 3 adentro. Catalina, de este lado. Daniela, Marta, Manuela y Jennifer. Cata, va a dar una buena pantalla para que ella venga al tiro. Listo, Dani, pinta y sale. Marta va a quedar adentro para jugar. Juegue duro para el aro en este ataque. Si no hay nada, el balón vuelve a la armadora. Y Catalina viene en el pick.
So defense starting to show up finally for Jerry Batista's squad. He's turning into buckets on the other end. That layup right here leading to a timeout. And Puerto Rico starting to surge and percolate a little bit here in the third quarter, looking to turn it on and try to get back the lead they lost halfway through that second.
Yeah, 4-point game here, 50-46. Points off turnovers, pretty even for both teams. Puerto Rico with 9, Colombia with 8. So we'll see what happens in this final 4 minutes of the third quarter.
Another turnover here for Colombia, as Puerto Rico now turning it up defensively.
Great defense there by Puerto Rico. You can see both players vertical, hands up, did not move, only moved their feet. That's exactly what you want from two senior players on this Puerto Rican team.
Sato across the timeline, uses a Melendez screen. Briantes, couple jabs, saw two, swung it, it's Smith for three. Can't get it to fall. Good block out that time by Munoz.
They have really made it a point of emphasis for this Colombian team, one and done, in terms of not allowing Puerto Rico to get any offensive rebounds. I keep saying it, but it continues to be true for this entire third quarter.
Here's Smith, finds it inside. Melendez, she's comfortable with the back of the basket, even if she's giving up size. Smith will try again from the same spot. In and out. And a foul is going to be called on Gonzalez. She puts her hand up. A rare player admitted to the foul.
Could never be me.
Well, we've heard about you and your technicals in your playing days.
It's called passion.
I'm sure some officials happy to see that you're on this side of the table nowadays.
It's passion. We don't see enough tees. We saw tees earlier in the last game, I think. Got some double technicals.
Brazil and Argentina, very physical battle. I'm sure that's not going to be the only tees given out by these officials here in this tournament.
I hope they give you a tee.
Might deserve a couple. Osado takes the inbound. Melendez, good jab. Rosado will tee up a three, and Puerto Rico rolling right now on a 7-0 run.
There we go. They got it within one now. We talked about this lead change, the ties, and we're right back there. Puerto Rico crawling their way back into this one with just over 2.5 minutes left to go.
5 to shoot on this possession. Delgado was blocked by Melendez. Vente tries to put it back up. It's going to be a shot clock violation, and Puerto Rico again flexing their muscle defensively.
Great defense there by Puerto Rico. They just do not give up. A little bit of a block there on the three. They allow her to get the rebound, but they don't allow it to go anywhere near the basket. And then you see all three of them here dive on the ball to make sure that they're not getting up with it.
Puerto Rico can take the lead on this possession. Ball last touch by Colombia as Rios got a poke to that one. 2:20 on the clock. You want to close quarter strong. This is one of those kind of moments in the game that could shift momentum. As Puerto Rico right now on a 7-0 run.
Puerto Rico outscoring Colombia in this quarter 13-8. And you said it was a bucket here. They could take back the lead.
Melendez can't get it to fall from deep. Solis underneath was hammered. And the foul's on the floor. Good work by 25 Solis inside. Played sparingly in this game, but impactful that time on the glass. Second foul for Rios. Benitez will check into the game. Let's see who she replaces. She's going to replace Smith. Caicedo will check into the game for Rios. Osado. Giantes sees a matchup she likes. She wants to go to work. Giantes in her bag, falling away, left it short. And it's going to go the other way. Last touch by Puerto Rico. Coach Batista has an opportunity to challenge if he wants to. And he won't. Caicedo picks up a dribble in a weird area, but Puerto Rico in a zone defense. Now they extend as Benitez got out there to get a hand on it. Delgado lost her dribble as well. Mascarada. Caicedo thought about the three. Now penetrates and loses possession of the basketball.
That zone really shook Colombia. I think they had what they wanted to run ahead of time, and when they saw the zone, I don't think anyone really knew what to do. Someone had to take the ball out, reset. They needed that leadership with Rios off the court right now. They had no one to kind of bring it back, take a deep breath, and run a zone offense there.
Speaking of leadership, Munoz will check back into the game for Colombia. Oscarala will sit. Puerto Rico with an opportunity once again to take the lead on this possession. Gigantes got to the rim. A 9-0 run for Puerto Rico when they regain the lead here late in the third. 12 points and counting for Gigantes. And once again, the zone causing issues for Colombia. Caicedo, bunch of red jerseys in front of her. Munoz, tough shot, nowhere near the rim. Gonzalez had a chance for a layup and she blew it, and it's a shot clock violation again. A fantastic performance defensively for Puerto Rico here in this third.
Puerto Rico takes back the lead, just like we said.
Melendez will check into the game for Puerto Rico. Melendez will sit. Hollingshed on the floor with her, as is Benitez, Gigantes, and Rosado. That's the five that makes up the unit on the floor for Puerto Rico. Gigantes trying to get past Munoz. Valles turns. Hollingshed, two-man game. Can't get it to fall. Vente vacuums in the rebound. 4-second difference between shot and game clock. Caicedo will slow it down and they'll look for the last opportunity at goal here in this third. A third where they've struggled to score. Stuck on 8 points in this period alone. Caicedo, hesitation, kicks. Vente, plenty of time, overshot it. And that's a shot clock violation.
It was almost like it was too much time, Carlin. Sometimes it's better when you have a player running at you. She had so much time. I think she probably overthought that little shot that she's probably made 100 times in her career.
That would have been a chance to use the window as well. Made the shot a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. The offense really drying up for Colombia here in this period. And Puerto Rico with 2.7 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock unplugged. We'll have a chance at a final look. They'll actually add time on this game clock up to 4.3 because of the shot clock violation. Jones will inbound.
This play right here, 4.3 seconds left, Carlin, could be a momentum shift going into this fourth quarter. And, you know, basketball, they say basketball is a game of runs, but a momentum shift going into the final quarter could be really important. So you want to get a good look here if you're Puerto Rico. You don't just throw something up.
Puerto Rico currently on a 9-0 run, able to regain the lead. It's the 14th lead change in this basketball game. Jones to Hollingshed. Gigantes gets a good look. It's off the mark.
That's a player I want the ball. I want the ball in her hands. I trust her. She's one of the vets on this team. It's a good shot. Would have loved her feet to get a little more set, but she ran out of time. Not her fault there. But that's what you want. You wanted it in someone's hands who knows the scorer, who knows the passion, the intensity of this moment. And Puerto Rico is up by 1 heading into the final frame.
51-50 your score. After 30 minutes of play, here are the numbers. The first 3 periods in this one. Colombia's three-point shooting drying up a little bit for them. And they had a struggle to get to 8 points in that third quarter. Terrific defense from Puerto Rico as we take a look at some of the best plays from the court.
I mean, that's what it was. It's a 1-point game right now. It's going to go back and forth for all of these highlights. It just happened to be Colombia lost a little bit of their fire. You said it, only scoring 8 points in that quarter. It was a lot of Puerto Rico, 15 points for them in that quarter.
As the game slowed down, Puerto Rico took advantage of that. Got out to that 9-0 run to close the quarter. It was capped by this layup here on the steal by Manuel Rosado, the captain. And Jerry Batista had been preaching defense, and he finally got it in that last 10 minutes of play.
There we go. The team listened to him. They executed well. Big leadership right here and a great finish by the Puerto Rican team in this third quarter.
On the flip side, Colombia needing to find offense. They had a lot of it from Manuela Rios, who ended the first half with 16 points, just 2 points in that third quarter. She had a little break to end the period. Sure, she's going to be back on the floor here shortly. And they're going to have to lean on her, not only to score, but to create for others as well.
Yeah, not a ton of big scorers for Colombia, so they do need to, a couple of the players need to put the team on their shoulders and really get things going. We look at the assist number. Rios leads the way in assists and with points, so you want her on the court as much as you can. She's going to check in to start this fourth quarter, but a really important player, like you said, to get going. I really like the Colombia jerseys. Every once in a while, the light hits the patch on the side and it glitters at me. There's something glittery on it.
Try to get you one before the tournament ends. And I know what number you're going to want. It's
33.
11. Yeah, 33. Yeah. I'm sorry. I tried to pull my David Blaine moment, but it didn't work out.
He knows I love magic.
Colombia starts with the basketball here to start the fourth quarter, down by 1. Rios, Munoz, Paz, Gonzalez, and Delgado on the floor for Colombia. The floater there by Rios, can't get it to go. And Jones with the flat-footed rebound. She's on the floor with Velez. Benitez will take this 3 and knock it down. Hollenshed and Gigantes, the 5 on the floor for Puerto Rico.
What a way to start the offense for Puerto Rico.
12-0 run and counting right now for Puerto Rico. And they lead by 4. Rios trying to put a stop to it. Gonzalez was fouled as she tried to make her way down the lane. First team foul for Puerto Rico in the quarter. All the momentum right now with the Puerto Ricans. They were calm, collected, were down. They were dancing even in the huddle to start the second half.
Yeah, this zone has really changed the way that they've been playing the game. I think they get to save a lot of their energy on the defensive end and use it a little bit more on the offense, and it's been showing in that third quarter.
So Hollenshed there coming up with a tip. Here she is on the rock at the nail. Gigantes bulldozing her way to the rim. Tough shot, can't get it to fall. Pass with the rebound. Here's where Rios is so dangerous in the open floor. Rios takes the bump, throws it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez somehow put a fork in it. Delgado for 3, can't get it to go. And the lid is on the rim right now for Colombia.
Still only a 4-point game, though. Colombia got to stay in it on the defensive end. Again, do not allow second chance opportunities. Claw your way back into this one. It's just a 2-possession game so far for Colombia, and you got a whole lot of basketball yet to play.
Munoz fouling Jones. Jones looking over at the official saying, finally, you blew the whistle. Been waiting for that.
It wasn't necessarily a foul that you had to take. You know, she couldn't put the ball on. She picked up the ball already. She can't go anywhere. You don't need to reach at that point.
Gigantes will inbound here. 14 on the shot clock after the foul. It'll be Jones. Washed by Gonzalez. Hollenshed tees up the 3. Too strong. Gets her own miss. Jones inside. They left her alone, and Hollenshed found her.
And that's why you cannot allow this team to have second chance opportunities. Just because of that, every time they do, they're able to capitalize in a big way.
Jones with 5 points and counting for Puerto Rico. Munoz for 3. No good. And Jones will push the other way. Numbers for the Puerto Ricans. Gigantes for 3. Indeed! 17 straight points for Puerto Rico. And they lead by 9. Timeout Colombia with 7:43 remaining in the fourth. And Puerto Rico looking to blow this game wide open.
I really like the play of Puerto Rico, and I don't even just mean because they're scoring and because they're playing really good offense. They look like they've really come together as a team in this second half. They look like the team that I thought would kind of shake off the dust in the first half, but because of the chemistry, because of how much they played together, it's really starting to show their experience and their chemistry late in this second half.
Jumped out to their largest lead of the game at 9 points on a 17-0 run. Colombia has yet to score in this quarter. They haven't scored since midway through the third. It's been a long time since to see the ball not go through the basket, and that has to weigh on you mentally.
No, it's tough. It's tough, absolutely. You get a stop and you're feeling yourself, and then you blow it on the other end, and it's not something that you can just get back real quick. This is a mental game, absolutely. Momentum is 100% on Puerto Rico's side, and it just seems like the ball is bouncing their way every single time. This play right here, kind of putting an exclamation mark on it. A big three by one of the vets for Puerto Rico. And it looks like a big, strong lineup coming right back on. They do not want to give this one back up. They want to keep the momentum rolling against Colombia. Colombia got to get something done. You got to look to get one bucket and just start to build on that. Get stops and a couple points, and you're right back in it. Still only 9 points.
Rios, Munoz, Oscarella, Paz, and Gonzalez, the 5 on the floor for Colombia. Much better ball movement on this possession for Colombia. The good high-low, Paz inside, and she's fouled.
They got to get that ball moving east to west against this zone. They got to get the zone moving, get them out of place, get them a little bit more in a scramble situation, because Puerto Rico looks very comfortable sitting back in their 2-3 zone right now.
So Paz at the line has a chance to shatter the ice that's sitting on top of the goal, and she does with that line drive free throw. Paz was selected to the All-Star 5 for the bronze medal winning squad at the 2024 South America Championship. Averaged 10 points, 7 boards over there.
I mean, she has experience. She's been playing with the senior team since 2018. 8 tournaments with the senior team for Colombia. A lot of experience.
Still very young. She's going to turn, well, she just turned 25 back in June. Another 3 for Puerto Rico. They're starting to rain down now for the Puerto Ricans. Munoz. Oscarella poked out of her hands. It's going to stay here, 8 to shoot for Colombia.
It's the biggest lead Puerto Rico has had so far in this game. A 10-point difference. And you said it, just Colombia the well has dried up a little bit on the offensive end. Paz trying to make a change to that and just cannot.
She thought she got fouled as she trots back on defense. Gigantes surveys the situation. Hollenshed was left alone. Benitez trying again from 3. Can't get that one to fall. Munoz coming back the other way. Didn't have numbers, so has to wait for her team. Paz, good post position. 3 red jerseys around her. Munoz wasn't ready to trigger. Rios, hesitation in the lane. A tough pass for her big to catch, and it goes out of bounds.
If I am an opponent of Puerto Rico and I'm watching this game, I am going into practice right before this and learning some zone offenses, because their zone has been a game changer against Colombia. Absolutely shut down Colombia's offense.
And on the flip side, if you're a Colombian opponent and you don't play zone, you might want to think about adding it. Gigantes, step back 3 on the way. That's short. And Rios will push. Early offense, it's Munoz for 3. They needed that.
There we go. No pressure on the fast break. It's an easy bucket. No one's expecting much. You pull up from 3. What a way to blow the lid off that rim.
7th three-pointer of the night, splashing through for Colombia. And they needed it at the right time. Hollenshed looking to respond. Can't get it to fall. Oscarella with the rebound. And Rios over the timeline. Plenty of time in this basketball game, as you mentioned, Kelsey. Colombia could string together a couple baskets. They're right back in it.
We're not even halfway through this final quarter. They can still do it.
Rios is left alone. She'll try a 3. High arcing shot, can't get it to go. And an offensive rebound for Colombia, almost giving away possession. Munoz weaving through traffic. Gonzalez wants it, kicks it back to Munoz. Same spot, same result. And Munoz, back-to-back triples now. And she looks up to the heavens, gasping for breath here, tired in this basketball game, and brings the lead down to 4 for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I mean, she's been shooting lights out when she's had the opportunity. A 5'7" shooting guard. Just in the last AmeriCup, averaged 14 points per game. So this isn't new to her, Carlin. You get her the basketball where she wants it, and she can hit a couple trays.
Plays professionally in Colombia, has played in Argentina, Bolivia, and Uruguay as well. Plenty of pro experience, but also experience with the senior national team. And her three-point shooting helping Colombia get back into this game. It's felt like the lead is really 44 points, but it's only 4 for Puerto Rico.
Just 4 points, and like we said, Munoz, 20 points. She's leading the way for Colombia right now after those 2 threes. She's 5 for 9 from the three-point line. So if I'm Colombia, I'm feeding her all day until that hot hand cools down. Between her and Rios, 38 points in your backcourt. And you see some of her work here. Back-to-back triples, leading to the Puerto Rican timeout. 4:57 remaining in this game. Yeah, she looks like one of the leaders on this team right now, especially in that timeout, making some passionate calls there to lead the team back out. And I mean, confidence, that'll do it. 2 threes back to back. I'd be telling my team what to do too. Give me the ball. Love to see the passion from the captain as she rallies the troops here. She was exhausted before that timeout, but as you know, Kels, anytime the ball goes through the hoop, you're a little less tired. You never heard of the word tired. Back-to-back threes? What's tired? So 4-point lead for Puerto Rico. They dribble in the front court, trying to respond after a 6-0 run for Colombia, leading to that timeout. Gigantes turns the corner, got to the rim, can't get it to go. Melendez kept it alive. Rosado straight on 3, indeed. Colombia cannot let a play like that, a big 3 like that, deflate them, take the air out of their tires. They got to keep going. They got to keep feeding the offensive players. And just like that, it's an answer. It's still a very close game with still over 4 minutes left to go. Gonzalez at the nail drills it. And you want to see more of that in the zone offense. Very capable to play make from that nail position. Got to get it to the rock. Rosado hiding behind the Melendez screen, now attacking Melendez, and she'll go to the line. Colombia looks tired to me on the defensive end. Like their body language, even standing here right now, they look tired. Whereas, like I mentioned, Puerto Rico able to save a lot of their energy by playing this zone. They're not running around following their opponent on the offensive end. So it's been interesting to see how this plays out in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Just a 5-point game now. Colombia is 2 threes away from being right back on top, or tied at this point. As you know, Kelsey, there's nothing like game action. You can run all the splits you want in practice. Nothing emulates a game. Finding that out for Colombia. Got to dig deep here. Still plenty of time for them to work with. Munoz for 3. Can't get it to fall. All in shed, clamps that rebound in. Rosado has a much bigger Gonzalez on her. Social dance. Gigantes turns the corner. She's fouled on the floor. No shot. It's Munoz who's going to pick up the foul, making it easy for the official by raising her hand, and easy for a suitor identifier as well. Paz will check into the game. Vente will sit. Rosado. Rios left her feet and then fouling Rosado. That's going to be the 4th team foul in the quarter now for Colombia. Next one will put them in the bonus, or the penalty, I should say. Puerto Rico cannot let up, Carlin. I know 3.5 minutes left to go, a 6-point lead. They cannot get comfortable, cannot play complacent. They got to keep attacking, which is what's brought them so much success in the second half. Benitez driving baseline, tough layup, can't get it to go. It's going to be a shot clock violation.
So there's a stop that Colombia needed. Let's see if they can turn it into offense now.
Yeah, if I'm Colombia, I really want to take advantage of this possession. It's almost a free possession because it was so empty on the offensive end for Puerto Rico. You want to take advantage of that. Only down 2 possessions now.
Rios has been quiet in this quarter, in fact, quiet in this half. A 16-point first half. She only has 2 here in the half and gave it away to Hollingshead.
Just another empty possession for Colombia when you need to score. We're under 3 minutes now.
Rosado uses the Girantes screen. Rosado spinning in the lane, lost control of the basketball. They're on the deck for it. The foul's going to be called, and the Colombian bench can't believe it. And that's going to send Rosado to the line as Colombia now in the penalty.
Yeah, I wanted to see this replay. We couldn't really see it from where we were sitting. Gets the ball kind of swiped there. A very smart veteran play. We've been talking about the experience that Rosado has in basketball in FIBA, and what a veteran play to put the shot up when she knows that she's got a player kind of on top of her there to get the free throws.
The captain of this Puerto Rican unit. The heart and soul of this bunch. And a very unselfish player. Was a starter for a very long time on this team, but what's better for this team is her coming off the bench. You don't often find that out of your captain. 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 7-point advantage and another turnover for Rios. Girantes pushing this side. Rosado for 3. Can't get it to fall. Paz with the rebound. Rios will push. She's going to take it herself.
Ooh.
Got fouled and she'll go to the line. Girantes can't believe she got called for the foul.
We've seen her say no 12 times now.
Reading her lips, she's saying absolutely not. As her team up 7. And we'll see here, the call was made correctly. You decide at home. That angle is a little tough for us to see.
Rios at the line. Carlin said at the start of the first half, very quiet in the second half. Points-wise, still very much a leader. She pushes the pace for this Colombian team, and these are the free points that you need to put onto the board. The clock is stopped, and you're down by 7. You need to be able to add to the scoreboard.
Splits the pair. Meanwhile, that was Puerto Rico's 3rd personal foul, so I still have 1 to give here, or 13th foul rather. They still have 1 to give here in the period. Benitez. Girantes, good pass to Hollingshead inside. 1 more, Melendez for 3. Can't get it to fall. She tries to follow her own. Last touch, they say, by Puerto Rico.
Looks like it's a little slippery down there. We'll get that mopped up real quick.
Some of our great volunteer staff here in Chile will take care of that, as you see the
great.
replay here. And it was last touched by Melendez on the back foot. But the volunteer staff has been terrific.
Amazing.
To you
so helpful. So great. I'm jealous of their hoodies.
They do have some great hoodies provided by Nike, of course. Munoz on the baseline. That's a great pass. Rios wasn't ready to pull the trigger. She'll get in the lane and throws it over the top of Hollingshead. Hollingshead using her size in the middle of that zone has really prevented Rios from getting some clean looks at the net. Minute 37 remaining in the game. Puerto Rico trying to close this one out, up 6. Girantes, double teamed, gets to the deck. Munoz comes up with the steal.
It's a sharp shooter right here. You gotta look to get her shot off.
Rios slowing things down. They get it to Gonzalez, top of the key.
I don't know if slowing it down is necessarily what you want right now.
Great footwork, couldn't get it to go. And now time running out. You're right, Kels. They should speed up the tempo a little bit and come up with a foul. And it's a foul game now for Colombia and Puerto Rico. And that will send Rosado to the line as Munoz picks up the foul. I think that's her 4th. So foul away from being DQ'd. There's Munoz.
You got to gamble, though. You got to take your chance now with just over a minute left to go. Your top scorer can't afford to sit her and keep her for the last 30 seconds or so.
And the way that Puerto Rico is shooting free throws right now, the door's still open. Rosado splits the pair. Puerto Rico only shooting 60% at the line here in this game. This feels like a must-score possession for Colombia as they walk the ball up the floor. Rios. Martinez on the floor. She's a sharpshooter from 3. Munoz is fouled on the three-point jump shot. And Benitez can't believe it.
That's exactly what you want. You get the double bonus of a three-point shooter at the line, plus she's doing it while the clock is stopped. You get a breather if you're Colombia, and you're putting points on the board in a dead time. It's perfect. That's a perfect play if you're Colombia.
And now they got to cash in on these free throws. Colombia struggling from the line themselves as a team, shooting 68% from the line. Munoz, a pretty good free throw shooter through her career, knocks down the first. Nothing but nylon on the first 2.
Big players step up. That's exactly what she's doing here at the free throw line.
All 3 points at the line there for Munoz. And now Colombia doesn't have to foul in a 4-point game. Back to that man-to-man defense. Gigantes. 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Kicks it out. Hollingshed for 3. Left it way short. Paz tracks it down. Looks for Rios, and the foul is going to be called on Gigantes. And Rios asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. She won't get the unsportsmanlike as Gigantes picked up her 4th foul. Both teams now in the penalty. And clock stopped once again, Kels. 35.5 seconds. Rios was struggled here in the second half. An opportunity now to cash in at the line. Pressure free throws. Sucking the gravity right out of this arena.
You can feel the tension in here. She makes it a 1-possession game. They get a stop and a 3, and we're right back in it.
Caicedo will check in. Martinez will sit. Vente will also enter the game. Paz will exit. Munoz playing with 4 fouls, as is Gigantes. They're guarding each other, matched up against each other.
First one to foul's out. That's a way to do it.
Colombia does not have to foul on this possession. Rosado. Watched by Rios. Here's Gigantes.
This is a fun matchup.
She has 4 fouls, so does Munoz. Gigantes, a lot of dribbling, pulls up, wild shot, can't get it to fall. Colombia with possession, shot clock unplugged. It's Rios, she'll take the 3. Can't get it to go, rebound inside, Benitez pulls it away and no one fouls her, and it will end the game on a defensive board by Benitez. Puerto Rico sneak out of this one with a 3-point win over Colombia, 68-65.
A lot of that game was done in the 3rd quarter, Carlin. Colombia scored just 8 points. Pretty even every other quarter. That 3rd quarter, they blew it wide open. Colombia could just not score for a majority of that quarter and going into the 4th. And they come out just 3 points short from Puerto Rico.
It was a close battle throughout. 14 lead changes in this one. And Puerto Rico getting the final one that mattered. And the final rebound that mattered as Benitez able to vacuum that one in and close things out. Munoz, 23 points, leading the way and leading all scores for Colombia. Gigantes, big night for Puerto Rico. 15 points leading the way for her squad. And the crowd giving both teams a hand as Puerto Rico leaves and Colombia leaves as well. As we are ticking down close to the final game of the day. Team USA taking on Chile coming up. But we'll get some highlights from this one. That came down to the final shot as Rios had a chance to tie it.
That would have been crazy. 10 players from Puerto Rico scored throughout this game. So you're going to see a lot of different faces putting points on the board in these highlights. Hollinshed, a really great player offensively and defensively, and Jones scoops it up on that one.
Was the anchor of that 2-3 zone that really changed this game.
Yeah, it's the story of the defenses for sure from Puerto Rico.
Gigantes leading the way with 15 points and counting. Paz did a great job on the glass for Colombia. They got a great scoring night out of their backcourt. 43 points combined in that backcourt for Colombia. Just couldn't find that extra 3 that they needed at the end of the game to tie things back up. But a valiant effort for Colombia, who came in here as the underdogs, hoping to pay back Puerto Rico for the last time they saw each other in pool play here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. Puerto Rico won that one by 1 point.
Yep.
This one coming down to 3 points.
So that's 5 straight wins, Puerto Rico over Colombia. This is a fun matchup. I would watch this matchup again tomorrow.
Might get a chance to see it again later on in the tournament. Who knows what happens the rest of the way. We know that they're done in the group play. Might see each other in the knockout stage. So how things shake out right now as we are through 3 games here today. Canada winners of their first game, defeating El Salvador. They top Group A. Right behind them is Brazil on their heels. Only difference is point differential in that one. Puerto Rico will now be at the top of Group B, seeing as they have the only win. But the U.S. and Chile will play in Group B action coming up. Puerto Rico victorious in their first game here in Santiago. A 3-point win for them. For Kelsey Wright Johnson, I'm Carlin Gay. We'll see you soon in a sold-out Santiago Arena as Chile takes on Team USA.